Good morning, everyone. How are y'all doing today? I hope you're doing well. So today's day 5. Okay, this is day 5. Day 5 of my 30 Days of Lives challenge. And I want to thank you all so much for tuning in, for joining me on this journey, and for basically, supporting me. I really do appreciate it. And I'm excited to share today's topic because this is another one y'all wanted. And I'm going to share with you a client horror story. I think this is not like my worst client horror story, but it's definitely like top 5. And I wanted to share that with you because that's what you guys voted on Twitter. If you don't follow me on Twitter already, check out all my social media links down below here. I'm on Twitter, I'm on Facebook, I'm on Instagram. Let's stay connected and let's get connected. So today I'm going to share a horror story I had with you, and as the title states, it's all around contracts. And when you're getting started in web design or design as a whole, sometimes you don't really realize how the legal factors and legal implications of doing things or not doing things in my case. So I'm going to start with the story, and it began, I'm going to say maybe, I think it happened 3 or 4 years ago. And it was at the time I just got my new car. So I was like rolling around everywhere, like driving to every single client meeting. But I had just got my car. I got my license, my G, which is like your full driver's license. I think a year or 2 before or something, but this is my first time having my own car to myself. So I wasn't really driving anywhere far. I was kind of sticking to my city, which is the city of Brampton. I wasn't really driving all the way to downtown Toronto, which is like an hour and a half away. And bare construction, so annoying. But essentially, at the time, the main source of leads and clients for my business was the classifieds website, Kijiji. Real talk, Kijiji is a cesspool for clients. It is not the place to find high quality clients, no matter what anyone will tell you. But at that time, that was where I was getting my clients from. I wasn't using Facebook ads. I wasn't using social media at all. I wasn't using video. I wasn't doing live video like what we're seeing right now. I was only posting ads onto Kijiji and replying to ads on Kijiji and maybe Craigslist, and then like sprinkling a back page. That was how I was getting and finding my clients. So I found a client. She was looking for some updates to her WordPress website. I'm like, calm, easy. WordPress, I got that. Updates, yeah, that's my jam. So here's where things started going lopsided. Now, bear in mind, I just got a new car. I'm essentially sort of kind of a new driver. And this client's like, we need to meet downtown Toronto. So I'm like, what? Like, do we have to meet in person? Like, can't we just like talk on the phone? And she's like, no, we must meet downtown Toronto. And again, I had barely transited to downtown Toronto, let alone now driving as a new driver in a new car to downtown Toronto. So that was the first red flag. She put me in an awkward position, and she held the power. And so I was like, you know what, like, I'm gonna go out anyway, I gotta get more driving in anyway. Let me go to Toronto. So that was the first red flag. She put me in a position where I didn't feel comfortable and I didn't feel safe. So I said, yeah, okay, fine, we'll meet up. I will meet you downtown Toronto. And it was like some place I've never been. At that time, I had never been there before. So I was relying on Google Maps, and of course it was construction season, so there was so much construction and one-way roads, and I couldn't find parking, and I was scared of parking. And I don't know if you live in any metropolitan city, I don't know if other metropolitan cities do this, but in the area where we were meeting up, you had to pay for parking, but could only pay for parking with a credit card. And at the time, I didn't have access to a credit card. And the parking meters would not take coins, so I had no coins, no credit card, and I'm like driving around trying to park my car somewhere illegally so that I could get to this meeting. And I don't even remember how much the job was for, but I promise you it was not more than $300. I was like about to lose my car. I was like driving around for like half an hour trying to find parking. Like, it was crazy. So I agreed to meet this lady downtown Toronto. I think, I don't remember how I parked the car, but I think I parked it somewhere in like a school or something. So now I'm like under all this pressure because I think I was like half an hour late for the meeting looking for parking. I parked my car somewhere where I wasn't supposed to, and I had this contract that I printed from lawdepot.ca. And so now I'm like rushing to come into the meeting, and it's at like this really loud and noisy Starbucks in like this condo building. And she was so uptight. Like, she was like a hard ass. There's no other way I can say it. And that's when she started nitpicking at my contract. And she's like, well, you know, what if you don't do the work the way I like it, I want a refund. And like, if you're late, there's going to be payment penalties. And I'm like, whoa, that's not how my contract reads. That's not how my contract writes. I don't do any of that. That's not what I do. I don't do that. Like, you're just gonna have to, like, that we're not doing that. That's not what we're going to do. I mean, that's what I was saying internally, but externally, that was not what was going on. That was not what was happening. What was happening was, I was like, you know what, like, I really need this money. At that time, I was still very new in the business, so I didn't know about sales goals or sales targets or profit margins or any of that. I was just like, yo, money come into business, that's good money, let's do that. So we're at a Starbucks. I'm like, you know what, whatever, do whatever changes you want, and let's just get this started. And then there was issues about payment. She wanted to pay by check, and she wanted to go into a business account. I'm like, yo, girl, do you want these changes or not? I can do the work, but like, you're really stressing me out here, and you're taking 2 weeks to do a project that we could have been done by now. So she reluctantly gave me the check for 50%. Like I said, I promise you this job was not more than $300. And I had already wasted 2 hours getting to the location. The meeting was super short. Like, the meeting, I think, was 25 minutes. But I left and I was like, I feel like I have done the biggest mistake ever. So she signed the contract, she made her changes and her edits. And so now it was essentially like, she wanted, like, if I wasn't done by a certain time, she wanted her money back. She then wanted to have, like, if I was late, there was like a 3% payment penalty for every day I was late. And she wanted me to remove, there's a specific clause in my contract that I still have to this day, which says that deposits are non-refundable. She wanted me to remove that line. So I made all of these changes on the fly for this woman, as we were going through the meeting, the 15-minute meeting at Starbucks. So we exchanged contracts, she gives me the check, I go on my way, and I'm just like, my armpits are sweaty. I was like, this bloody sucks. I don't want to do this job anymore. But I was like, you know what, I need the money, got bills to pay, etc., etc. So I get back home, I start working on the project, and as it always is, I get halfway through the project, I ask her to check in, and she's like, you know, I don't want that, I don't like that, I don't like this, change that. And I'm like, yo, bro, listen, this is what we said in the contract, and now, like, you're changing your mind. We can't do that, or you're gonna have to pay more money. And that's when she obviously did her thing. You know what, give me my money back, I don't want to work with you anymore, stop working on my website, I'm going to change the username and password. And I was like, you know what, fine, you can do that, but like, I've done the work that you asked me to do, I'm not going to do anything more. And that's when she's like, I'm threatening legal action, I'm gonna send lawyers after you, you'll never be in business again. And I was just like, are you friggin' serious? And I remember she would call me like every single day at 9 a.m. to ask for an update. And I'd be like, there is no update. I'm done the work. What you asked me to do has been completed. Pay me the rest of my money and let's go. She would call every day. She would come and say that she's filing legal action against me. She would come and say that she wants a refund. And like, at that point in time, I was like, you know what? Like, I'm done. I can't do this anymore. I'm not going to do this. So what ended up happening was she changed the password on her WordPress website. And so essentially now I couldn't do the work even if I wanted to. She sent an email saying she's taking me to small claims court, and I was really scared. I was like crying. I was having like hot flashes, cold sweats, the whole 9 yards. And my dad's like, yo, what the hell? Why are you going through all this emotional roller coaster for $150? Let her sue you. Let her file court action. The whole process of even filing for small claims comes up to about $150 anyway. Let her do all of that and see what happens. So that was 3 years ago. Until this day, her website is exactly the way I left it. I can't even believe that she's still paying for the hosting. And so what I did was, in retaliation, I left her a nasty Google review on Google. I was like, listen, if you are a web designer or a graphic designer, do not work with this company. She's rude, she's mean, she'll make you change your contract and all of that stuff. I would highly not recommend working with her. And my 1-star review is still there to this day, and I feel very, very vindicated. So here's what you can learn from this client horror story. My heart is still pounding, right? Oh my gosh. So here's what you can learn from this story for yourself. If you are a designer or a developer, or you're getting started in the field, number one, make sure you have a solid contract and do not deviate from it. If you can spend a little bit of extra money to actually have a legal professional look it over, I highly recommend you doing so. Please, friend, brother, sister, colleague, person, do not change your contract. Which I should probably say, step 0, make sure every single project you do, no matter how big, no matter how small, you have a contract in place. And do not change your contract for anyone. Whether they're a big corporation, whether it's your boy across the way, do not change your contract. That's like lesson 0. Don't change your contract. Lesson number 1, always have a contract for every single job that you're doing, and make sure you take the time to edit and curate your contract to match the job that you're doing. There is no one size fits all contract. No matter what anyone may say, every job has different rules and regulations, different deliverables, different payment terms, whatever have you. Make sure that when you are crafting your contract, you take these things into consideration. Number 2, and this is probably something you've all heard before, and I'm going to stress it to you again. Follow your gut. You know that feeling inside you, in your chest? Follow it. Listen to those signs and signals. When your chest feels like it's getting tight, when your belly feels like it's like doing somersaults, when you're sweating profusely, when you're talking to someone, dead it. Like, drop it. Listen, you want to know exactly what you need to say? This is what I say to people sometimes when we're not working. I say, listen, sir, madam, thank you so much for getting in contact with me today. I really appreciate you taking the time out to come and speak with me and share your vision for your project. However, at this time, I do not think that you and I are a good fit. I would like to thank you again for choosing to reach out to me, and I wish you all the best in this project. Done. Take that verbatim, put it in the email, put it in your sticky notes, put it in the tab. That's all you need to do. Say no. Like, honestly, whenever I do talks, whenever I do speeches, I always say this: say no loudly and often. If a project right at the jump, it doesn't feel good, dead it. Don't take it on. No matter how much money, no matter if you really need money, I promise you, when you take on dead projects, they take your time, and they also take your focus away from projects that are beneficial and can help you. So before a project even starts, if you feel any bad vibes, just dead it. Don't take it on. You don't need it. They need you. Like, you're the expert. You really have to truly believe that you are the expert, and they came to you because they can't fix their problem themselves. You're the expert. You are in the position of power here. And therefore, you can say no, you can say fuck off, you can say yes. It's all in your hands. So, I hope you learned something from my horror story today. I will continue this theme throughout my 30 days of lives, and I'm sure other places where I messed up and I fell short as a designer and a developer. If you like hearing more about these horror stories or learning more about design, web, etc., please subscribe to my YouTube channel or like and share this video. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much for supporting me on day 5, y'all. I'm glad I was able to make it thus far. You've been great. If there are any questions or comments, I'll make sure to answer them after the broadcast. And if you're catching this on the replay, thank you for taking the time out today to listen to my horror story. Have an amazing weekend. I will see you tomorrow, because tomorrow will be day 6. I know I'm supposed to do a screen share sometime soon. I'm gonna figure it out, y'all. Thank you so much for joining. Have a wonderful Friday. Have a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you on the next upload. Bye for now.